Next up, we've got some TAEMIN. This is a request from Arwa, and we're going to be doing his songs Rise and Not Over You, which Rise, Arwa here has commented that I must have said something during his Killing Voice, which was way too short. I know that they were having like audio issues or something during that where his was so very short, and he did a lot of like ballads and things like that, but Rise was one of the ones that really stood out to me, so it has been requested here. That was off of his Move album, and then Not Over You was off of his Guilty album, his most recent one, which I have actually not checked out, so it'll be cool to hear something more recent from him in terms of B-sides, because I don't have, outside of like a lot of live stages that I've heard from TAEMIN and some lyric videos, I haven't checked out a lot of TAEMIN B-sides. So let's get it going, starting off with Rise. I could already see how this would stand out to me in his Killing Voice. Oh, it sounds so depressing and like lost. Oh, the control, that ghostly delivery. Turn it up. TAEMIN always sings like he's just been through a battle. He just came back from fucking war. Oh. You don't want to see what he has seen. This whole song, it also feels like it's just been building. These are one of those songs, it makes me feel like I'm having a fucking religious experience. I would very much like to see a live stage of this. I feel like it just must be amazing. Like, I am picturing him really acting this out. At the end, I see him like basically on his knees holding onto the mic stand, hands like trembling, reaching for the mic as he sings out like the last line of this song. I just feel the dramatics of this. Song is fucking awesome. Like, it does feel like the ending of a war movie. Oh, well, why are people allowed to be this multi-talented? It should not be legal. It should be outlawed. We need Taemin in cuffs. Yeah, that song is fucking great. Like, it's one of those to where, like, you brought it as a request saying, like, oh, well, this really stood out to you in the Killing voice. And I was like, oh, I don't really recall it exactly. And then the first 10 seconds of that song, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I could clearly see why this would be a song that I'm super into. Full of emotion and just, like, has such a big, huge feeling, like, great impact that is meant for, like, an arena type show, which I've reacted to a lot of Taemin performances. It's been a while, but reacted to a lot of Taemin performances a couple years ago from, like, arena tours and things like that. I don't know if it was just his solo shows or where it would be like a separate solo portion during actual, like, SHINee performances or concerts rather. But they were always so fucking amazing. Some of, like, my favorite live performances that I've seen, like, reacting to K-pop stuff. And that is a song that I would really love to see him do live. I have seen Taemin live last year. It was just way too short. Dude performed like 3 songs. These are the reasons why KCON is sometimes not enough. Performed like 3 songs and dipped. And I was like, no, we need you here for 15 more, please. Not Over You is next. This is off of his Guilty album. That's right. Just to say real quick, it was actually said in the request, and someone in the chat said that the Korean name for that song is Icarus, which fits very well into just the concept and sentiment of this song, which that was said in the request. I just failed to mention it. You should know the story of Icarus, right? You know that. You know. I feel like I'm trying to place just the auras right now of, like, Taemin and the other SHINee members and, like, where they fit. Taemin is clearly our emo boy. He's dude's wearing jet black, like he's emoed out. He's a sad boy. Onu is sad boy too, but he's like a little goofy sad boy. He's like Timothée Chalamet Wonka sad boy. That's what he is. Key, he's a bit more glam. He's aloof in his own way. He's silly, but he's more glam about it. He likes his fashion. Bit more of an outgoing dork. Mino is the one that I really can't get a grasp on because he's a bit more aggressive sometimes, and I feel like is a bit more gives off the masculine energy. But I don't know if I can ever place it based off of the solo that we checked out earlier. But Taemin, I think I've just nailed down as the emotive sad boy. I mean, the beat of this song is kind of grindy. It feels very like baby making music, but come on, no, I muted it. Come on, that part. Taemin is always sensual and dark with like a little hint of sadness in there too. Whoa. I would be shocked if that's not his best song off of that album. I really like Guilty. I like it less than a lot of his other title tracks, but I do really like Guilty. But this song is just so fucking good, man. I feel like I'm caught in his little sticky Taemin web. It's just so intoxicating. The song really fucking reels you in. I really, really dug this one. Man, both of these songs are so good, but they're of different Taemin eras for sure. Like Rise was what, probably 4 or 5 years ago, if it was on his Move album. But yeah, both of these are so very good. Damn. Thank you so much for the requests. These were great. I haven't heard nearly enough Taemin B-sides. That Killing Voice is probably the most exposure I really got to his B-sides. Weirdly enough, I have checked out like Plenty of Key and Onu and stuff like that in terms of the other members and their solo works. But with Taemin, we've never really done an album of his exactly. So yeah, this was great to hear. Thank you so much for the request. Next up, we've got a request from Eric, and it is some STAYC. We've got some English covers here that they've done. I see them releasing a lot of these, and I'm always like, I'll save these for if I ever react to them. I need to learn to just watch some more stuff on my own and realize that you can't react to all of this stuff. It takes a lot of extra time to record and edit these things that I should just watch it on my own and enjoy it. But here we are to react to them because Eric has requested them. It is Seeun covering Charlie Puth, who I know how to say his name now because of the Stray Kids collab that he did. His song Light Switch, which I'll probably recognize the second she starts singing it. And I've probably heard other idols cover that before. And Sieun covering Ariana Grande's Break Free, which I feel similarly about. Can't tell you what that song sounds like, but I'm sure I'll recognize it on the first 10 seconds that she sings of it. So let's get started. Before we do, recommend the Patreon and Fourth Wall that there's plenty of STAYC stuff on there. They're one of my favorite groups in K-pop, so I always tend to react to them relatively often to a degree. Thankfully, we're getting a lot more requests for them recently, which I'm a huge fan of. Request as much STAYC as you like. So let's get started with Seeun's cover of Light Switch. Oh, wow, this video is...
Yeah. Why you calling at 11:30 when you only wanna do me?
It's so crisp. She's giving us attitude.
But you never wanna be each other's. I say don't look back, but I go right back. All the sudden I'm hypnotized. You're the one that I can't deny. Every time that I say I'm gonna walk away, you turn me on like a light switch. When you're moving your body around and around. Now I don't
I actually don't know this song.
You know how to just make me want you to turn me on like a light switch. When you're moving your body around and around.
Oh.
You got me to take grip. You know how to just make me want you, baby. Do you love it when you keep me guessing? When you live and then you leave me stressing. But I can't stay mad.
This is great too. She sounds so fantastic for this song, and I feel like, at least for me, sometimes it's maybe me just underrating some people. She's probably like, I would say, the more underrated member of STAYC, probably, or probably gets the least attention. It could be Seeun as well, but as a Seeun bias, like no, there's just no shot that she's gonna not get enough attention. But probably I give her the least attention, and every time I'm always astonished by how great her vocals are. But STAYC is a very well-rounded group overall. So.
When you keep me guessing, when you live and then you leave me stressing. But I can't stay.
And she feels so confident in this video too.
Why you always wanna act like lovers, but you never wanna be each other.
When she sometimes feels like the most shy member a lot of the time.
But I go right back, and all of a sudden I'm hypnotized. You're the one that I can't deny. Every time that I say I'm gonna walk away, you turn me.
I actually do like this song too, but I feel like I would like it less hearing the original version.
When you're moving your body around and around, now I don't wanna fight this. You know how to just make me want to. You turn me on like a light switch. When you're moving your body
The covers they're putting out have gone way up in quality video-wise. That was so great. I remember checking out one that okay. Well, this isn't a part of the request, but we're watching Yoon cover Avril Lavigne's Skater Boy. That's happening. Yeah, absolutely. She's such a perfect fit for this. I had to.
He was a boy, she was a girl.
Oh my god.
Can I make it any more obvious? He was a punk, she did ballet. What more can I say? He wanted her, she never tell. Secretly she wanted him as well. But all of her friends stuck up their nose. They had a problem with baggy clothes.
Listen, like, hold up. Like, I know that this song, like, of course, in the US also just had its day and was pretty iconic at the time. But I never expected, like, this song specifically having such, like, wide tendrils that this has been covered quite often, I feel like, in K-pop. But also has, I feel like, inspired a lot of songs, too, to where, like, a lot of, at least the pop-punk inspired songs that I hear in K-pop feel like it feels like they were inspired by this. Well, this is on the hard end of pop in pop punk, but this is great.
She needed to come back down to earth. 5 years now, she dead home.
Dude, that tie is like, for a girl that's tall too, that tie is so big. The Snatch poster back there.
She takes so long, stand in the crowd, looks up at the man that she turned down. He was a scary boy, sister, see you let it boy. He was a good.
I enjoy covers like this purely for like the appreciation of the song and the style. The vocals here sound almost like they're a little bit more manipulated than Seeun's cover, but I still very much like it. It's more about the energy. Wow, I totally forgot about the bridge in this song. It's also so cool to see these covers that each of the members are doing feel so applicable to them. This feels like something she would cover. She's a little mischievous rascal. And then coming up, Seeun covering Ariana Grande just feels right. What has Seeun covered? Oh, that was awesome. A little nice aside. That wasn't requested, but I had to click on that when I saw it come up. I don't know if what covers Seeun has done. Or Jay either, but all right, let's get into the actual request. Ariana Grande, Break Free. Let's go. Okay, she's surrounded by mirrors here. Mirrors.
If you want it, take it.
Know this song.
I should have said it before. Try to hide it, fake it.
Oh, she is feeling it. Pop starlet. She's even got a high ponytail. Right, that's something Ariana Grande does, I think. She'll always be the Victoria like Justice Girl to me. Wow, Alright, she's eating this up. That is Stacey's vocal powerhouse. Oh. What the fuck? Is this part of the actual song? Ariana Grande dance break? Dude, what? She's killing it in this video. That was sick. Her vocals are just so impressive every time, always. Like, this group is just so perfect. This group is just so perfect. You know, I'm hoping they do get back on track with, like, I feel like I've liked all of the title tracks. I've enjoyed all their stuff, but I do feel like the general K-pop like sentiment is that like they're not in there. They're not in that conversation as much as I feel like they were. I feel like that kind of dropped off a little bit after the Run to You. I don't know if people are sick of like the maybe like cuter, more youthful sounding like Teddy Bear and Bubble. I, for one, have been happy that they have kind of retained that and haven't moved on to like, let's do a more mature concept in our, second, third year right away, that they've made it last a little bit longer. But I do think I am ready at this point for something that's more so bad adjacent. Like, give me, I'm ready for that. I don't think you could come out with Teddy Bear and then Bubble and then come out with another song that is in the same kind of concept as those two. I think you really do have to come out with something very different, something more like So Bad or Run to You. And I think that's probably what we'll get, in which hopefully maybe would be a full album before the end of the year. That would be nice if we got a full album. But thank you so much for these STAYC requests. I always jump to the opportunity to check out some more STAYC stuff. So thank you very much. Next up, we've got another... I got to restart that. That happens sometimes, but not live. Next up, we've got another request from Arwa. This is IU and her song Above the Time. Now, looking at the request for this, it is cryptic in what Arwa has written here. The only other thing I will say about the song is that you will know why I requested this, because you mentioned something briefly before and is in this song. We'll see if I can point out what that is that I briefly mentioned before that might be incorporated somewhat in this song. Supposedly this song is also tied to another track she has called You and I. But for now, we are checking out Above the Time. I feel like I'm weirdly distancing myself from IU in some respect because I'm just disappointed about how much those fucking tickets cost and how it's impossible to see her unless you want to spend $700-800 minimum, really. And because I would be seeing her immediately after KCON and making the drive up to Oakland to see her, like, it's one of those things that I've said before and I've said on this stream as we're streaming right now already today, that like if I'm going to make a long trip out of it, like it's got to be a good seat. Otherwise I just wouldn't go. But IU was like that's like, who knows when that'll happen again. So I'm still prepared to somehow pull into the pockets to somehow see her. I would really like to, but it is just obscenely expensive to see her. So we will see. Above the Time. Let's go. Oh. She's in a little sheet music cocoon.
서로를 닮아 기울어진 삶 소원을 담아 차오르는 달 하려다만 괄호 속의 말 이제야 어디도 닿지 않는 나의 닷 넌 영원히 도착할 수 없는 섬 같아 헤매던 날 이제야 기록하지 않아도 내가 널 전부 기억할 테니까 기다려 기어이 우리가 만나면 시간의 테두리 바깥에서 과거를 밟지
Oh, I've got chills.
숨이 차게 춤을 추겠어 낮에도 받지 않은 나의 밤 끝없는 밤 남겨진 밤넌 어떨까 나와 같을까 알 수 없음 배 아파지던 맘 더 멀리
We're halfway through. I haven't picked out what the thing is that I'm really looking for here, other than a really fucking good song that has all the elements of songs that I like. Holy shit. This is fantastic. It is so the style that I associate with IU. It feels magical. It feels like this feeling of splendor. Like, oh, I love everything about it. All the wholesomeness I feel about K-pop is like distilled into this one little body in IU, and her vocals are just something special. Fuck, I'm going to be spending a lot of money on a ticket. Oh, we're doing a little Irish jig. All right. She's the Disney princess of the K-pop world. Like, she should be an honorary Disney princess no matter what. I really love that little subtle electronic beat that comes in during this chorus too, that you could faintly hear in the back. This song feels so masterfully crafted. What the fuck? That was... was that a duck? What is a duck? What are you doing? That's one thing I got out of this too, of like, I'm thinking like, this girl, I don't know if she does, but she's got to have a Christmas album, right? She gives such strong Christmas vibes. She gives strong like Hugo, Polar Express, like steampunky Victorian era vibes. Like, that's just what I get from IU's most wholesome stuff, and you got that here in spades, like absolutely in spades. This shit was real good, man. She has one of the most like wholesome, comforting voices I think ever. Not really just in K-pop, but like ever. The second one of her songs starts, like hearing just a new song from her, we're gonna watch this again. Just the beginning of it alone, it's like you are reminded of what you're in store for. Wow, and the frame really does start the same as it ends on this calendar. With the date circled for the new year. So she's some kind of... What is she, the role that she plays here in this. I'll try to pay a bit more attention to that. You got her little stuffed duck. But like the elements of the song, you've got strings, you've got like a great like synth like bass line that comes in during the chorus. You have a sick choir at the end. Like the vocals that come in towards the end is just so epic and grand feeling. The emotion that I always just so tie with IU, and you even saw like when I reacted to some of her golden hour concert, like everything in terms of how the concept is portrayed and everything from her outfits to like the style of the sets and everything. It's just gives me this really classic old school Christmassy cozy warm vibe. I love that. Is she a wish granter? Is that it? What is the role she's playing here? He seems like a toy maker. Or just toy trains? Yeah, this was the first bit of the song where I was like, oh fuck. This right here. Fantasy Express. Yeah, and then there's these little like microcosm, like as if she's playing this kind of godly role. There's these little small factor forms of like his own space. He acts his ass off in this, by the way. Is he a watch? Is he a watchman? What do you call him? A watchmaker? That's what it looks like. He's working on a watch, and then this is like the hands of the clock on his wrist. He's working with a gear before. There's clocks everywhere. So it is about time in some degree here. You even hear it with the lyrics, obviously. So unexpected. No, she's so cute. Oh. I'm so tired of IU songs making me feel like I want to cry. I'm so sick of it. Oh, the build of this.
두려움 따윈 없어. 서로를 감아보게 여신 삶.
What did the hands of the clock turn into? Like it looked like a rose in his hand.
여전히 말하고 싶은 말. 우리 손봐 꼭 하나 같아.
I feel like I could watch this fucking 10 more times. I love this song. I love I don't know what else to say. This is probably one of my favorite things that we've checked out on this stream here today. Wow. I mean, a girl that doesn't miss, man. That was incredible. I love the hell out of that. Now, you did say in your request that this was tied to another song, so maybe that it'll be a little bit more, the storyline would be more fleshed out to me if I also had that that kind of perspective as well. But just for this, Above the Time, amazing. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for that request, because it was awesome. And thank you so much. I will be billing you for however much this ticket cost me, because that just inched me just a little bit more forward into possibly doing that. So you will see the invoice. Thank you so much for the request, Arwa. All right, well, next up we are checking out AOA with their song Confused. This is apparently the start of the sexy era for AOA. This just preceded Miniskirt. This is a request from Sash. Thank you so much. Miniskirt is like a foundational K-pop song for me, because that was one of the songs that like really started to get me back into it. You know, started with G, and then Miniskirt was really one that I was like, oh, I'm taking notice of this too. And hey, my friends that don't really understand K-pop really like it too, because the MV goes crazy. So Miniskirt really a important K-pop song for me, and apparently this was like the start of their sexier concepts that then, like I said, preceded Miniskirt. I'm probably going to struggle, even though we have watched all of Queendom 1. I'm going to struggle with names on here. I know I'm going to be able to pick out Jimin easily. Haejung probably, maybe, because she was like my favorite from them on Queendom. Seeun maybe, and that's kind of about it. Do they have a Mina? I don't know. I don't remember. But let's go. I'm starting to disappoint. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, the vocals are bringing it. Oh, and Doa, obviously. Chunmi, obviously.
Boy keeps me falling low. Yeah, you make me so blinded. Oh, 내게 흔들려. Won't you be my love?
Oh.
내가 빠졌어.
This was the era of the leg, and it needs to come back. I would just love a return to this kind of concept, and it's not just being the like, oh, I want sexy concept to come back, but the maturity of it all, the kind of like alluring seduction, like it's not just, oh, I want sexy concepts back. You know what I mean? You don't really get this outright kind of seducing vibe anymore, and I just think it's unique because you don't see it anymore. And their vocals. I mean, the camera angles are a choice. It's not even like the dancing either. It's like the body lines. It's it's just. Bear with me. I feel like that's a classic move. I don't know what it's called, but I call it the horsey move. It's classic. K-pop fans that joined during COVID that didn't know this existed, that started with ITZY, are rolling in their child-sized graves. They can't fathom something like this. It's beautiful. Jesus. Wow. Okay, Jimin's about to go off, but the vocals here. Whoa.
What the fuck is this?
Some of the camera angles are gratuitous. But the song is so good. I mean, I feel like you just don't create these kind of. God damn. Why did you do that to me? Why did you request that? I mean, I loved it. It was really good. And it's really hard somewhat to separate that idea. And I tried to kind of somewhat in the middle of that of, I don't just want sexy comebacks of this nature because they're inherently hot. That's not it. That's like 20%. And then the other 80% is that you just don't see it anymore and it's unique. And I think that if you have idols, obviously, of the right age, you get idols in their mid-20s doing this kind of thing, it is super fitting, and I just think it's somewhat needed. And we've entered this era to where like you can't do a lot of that, but honestly in the last year, I think you're kind of starting to see a little bit of that come back to some degree. Certain groups, pushing it here and there somewhat. And I always expected, honestly, that it's going to be Idol to be one of the groups to really maybe push the envelope in that way. I could just see Sieun as being someone that would do something like that. And you've seen it a little bit here and there, shades of it. But maybe to some degree that this era and that kind of style was for the allure of it and the shock value purely. But I don't see it really just as that. I just see it as it's something of yesteryear that we've completely lost. And like of this exact era, like 2013 is where a lot of that was totally kicking off. And you just don't see it nearly as much anymore. So please don't take it as just purely, you know, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm in the weeds with it. But I like that. Thank you so much for the request.